So I love horror movies. My personal favorite of subgenre horror movies would have to be like Possession or Haunted Homes. But I will say, if I were asked what my favorite vampire horror movie is, it would have to be Near Dark from 1987. And this movie, I think it's overshadowed a lot because ultimately The Lost Boys came out around the same time. And I love The Lost Boys. I own The Lost Boys. It is one of my favorite movies. It's great. I mean, how many times can you say Michael in that movie? But ultimately, it kind of overshadowed Near Dark. And it has a very similar premise with the focus being on a young man. His name is Caleb in this movie. And he falls for a young woman named May. But without knowing it, May is a vampire and she belongs to a group of vampires here. Sounds like The Lost Boys. Honestly, it kind of sounds like a lot of vampire movies, except maybe John Carpenter's Vampires. If you don't know about that movie, you should watch it. I laugh every single time because James Woods is hilarious. Or 30 Days of Night, which is just vampires being monsters. But yeah, this is a very typical premise, right? Boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl, girl's a vampire, boy has to struggle with becoming a vampire, becoming a monster, losing his humanity. But something about this movie I just love, and I think it's the dark grittiness of this movie, and because this man right here, let me just show you. So this character's name is Severin, and he is a vampire played by the late, great Bill Paxton. If you don't know Bill Paxton is, you need to get on Tubi right now and go watch this movie, or watch Frailty, or watch Aliens. It's a sequel to Alien, which I personally love, Space Marines, and, you know, Game Over, man. He is such an amazing actor, and, you know, R.I.P. And he's one of my favorite characters in this movie because he's completely unhinged. He is enjoying being a ruthless cowboy vampire, I guess, if you want to call him that. There's a whole scene in a bar, this scene in particular, with his spurs, like the kind they wear on boots. And he's just having a blast being a vampire. Very a la Tom Cruise as Lestat in Interview with the Vampire. He's embraced it, he loves it, he's gonna play with his food, and then he's gonna eat it, and he's just gonna have a great time doing it. And one of my favorite lines is his line where he finger licking good. Like, he's so wild in this movie. So, yeah, I love horror movies, and while, you know, Possession and haunted houses are my jam, this is definitely my favorite vampire movie of all time. You know, it's up there. Lost Boys. Byzantium's a really good one as well. If you don't know about Byzantium, you should look it up. It's an interesting take on the vampire movie. So anyways, just thought I'd let everybody know. This is on Tubi, by the way. Free streaming service. Tubi is a treasure trove of horror movies. Go find something, because I can't talk enough about Tubi. I love them. Anyways, yeah, Severin. Love this guy.